Welcome back to your super cool league qualifiers. My name is Fdot, joined here by D.
Yeah, I got taller, gained a couple pounds.
Adanas is here with me. I didn't even notice that switch up around, but we're going to be heading into game number 2. Adanas, of course, was watching everything, so he's well aware of Team Rival's ability to turn things around Tina Turner style. Let's head into picks and bans and take a look at who's going where and where's going who. Left-hand side, Team Rival with the first pick, Barrage second.
So, Guan Yu, I think probably going to be a pretty big point into this matchup. I mean, just how useful Watson was on it earlier today. It's just, it's such a good god, so good on console. Just the healing, the ability to reset, and to do it, you have to ban Odin, and that's exactly what Barrage are looking at.
Guan Yu is also going to be banned, so
not having any of it. I think Rival knows. Rival knows. They're like, no, thank you.
Rival is actually, so Rival has been very clever. Their picks and bans, if you guys didn't catch game number 1, Rival's picks and bans, Odin was first picked, and Rival said, okay, we'll pick Scylla. And we're sitting here like, what a strange early pick. Every guy they picked had a jump to get out of the Odin cage, except for the Khepri, but it's Khepri, and they just sort of dealt with it. They played very cleverly, and I think that's what led to their victory in game number 1. Kuang selected, even though Khepri's banned. So
Barrage smartly taking that one away. Khepri way too lane dominant. They will give up Kuang, but in return they're going to have the most dominant mid laner for the first couple minutes. Going to be Isis. Pair that with a Geb in the dual lane. So looking pretty good. This is the Egyptian run through.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to call it.
You think they're going to go all the way down?
We had that one time. I think it was TSM ran it.
You got to find it. Soul selected for Team Rival still. Could be mid. Could be Hunter. Doubtful solo.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen really too many mages solo. Hasn't been effectful. Neith going to be picked up, and honestly, this doesn't help us on where we know the Soul's going to go. It could go either way. We've seen kind of both switched up, where Soul and Neith are these gods that have a lot of high clear that can push very fast, whether they're in the dual lane or whether in the mid lane. And a lot of times it's kind of like, who do you want to match up against the Isis? I'm assuming it's going to be the Neith, though.
Yeah.
I think she has a little bit of a better matchup early on.
Yeah, Neith can root the Isis during her Wind Gust. Awilix going to be selected for Barrage. Love this character. Combined with the Geb, makes for some cheesy ultimate situations. Second round of bans, Barrage should be looking into the jungle, or into the solo lane, rather.
For me, though, the Awilix pick is kind of just a very strong counter against Neith. Neith backflips, one of the slowest movement abilities we have in the game. She's in the air for a very long time. That's why any god that can close the gap strong against her. We see a lot of Thors picked up because you can read it. So Awilix is going to have a lot of time while Neith is in the air to make that decision. Do I want to pull the Neith, or do I want to go for something else? Do I want to save it? It gives you kind of just like this window and allows you to have multiple options.
Xbalanque is the option selected for Barrage. Now, before you mentioned Guan Yu good on console, Guan Yu's a character that's just good, end of statement. Odin's a character that's just good, end of statement. Xbalanque sees a little bit more success in the console league than on the PC for a number of reasons, honestly. That ultimate is really powerful. Sobek and the Monkey King. It's been a while since we've seen Sun Wukong.
We see him every, once in a while. A player will play him. We haven't seen a Sun Wukong dominate in a long time. We haven't seen a Sun Wukong be a powerhouse. But Zenborne back on his Sobek, so effective earlier on. Tier going to be picked up by Barrage, though. On the other side.
I'm thinking so hard right now. The Sun Wukong is, I'm not a Sun Wukong hater. I'm not sitting here like you picked Arachne. What is his purpose here? But what is his purpose here? It just seems like a very intentional pick, you know? It seems like it was very specific. It's the last choice on the team. I want to know what Rival's thinking with the Wukong pick.
I mean, you can stun out the Isis Wind Gust, the Geb rollout as well, and it's kind of just disruption. And I think that's the point, is that Gnome is really just focusing on disrupting as much of the team as he can and allow his hard carries to really hard carry, right? You have the Neith, which is not the strongest late game carry, but still pretty potent, and then it's the Soul and the Kuang. As long as they have space, and as long as, honestly, Gnome is just, if everyone's looking at Gnome, this is going to allow Kuang to rampage through the team.
Gnome definitely, he played Hades last game, and we saw fantastic ultimates. He understands timing and when he's effective. Sun Wukong, It's just so interesting. I mean, what does Sun Wukong do hard CC outside of what Bologna or Amaterasu can really bring?
It just soaks up more damage. It's honestly Bologna is good, but not only does Sun Wukong have better mobility than them, but he also has an ult that says, you cannot kill me, or, you know, as long as you can't burst me. He gets up into the sky, he buys more seconds, and then he comes crashing down after healing up, and then he can, you know, Eagle away or Ox away, or it's just, he is the best at disrupting teams.
Sun Wukong, the Eagle will help him get away from Awilix as well. That's the thing, if Awilix is dealing damage to a Sun Wukong. Looks like we're going to see Headhunter playing Soul in the long lane, and Atonement will bring that mid lane Neith to the battlefield. And I mean, these characters are interchangeable. There are basically 3 tenements that I look at a character when I say they can play mid. Do you have the clear?
Yes.
Are you safe?
Yes.
And can you scare people near mid camps? And all of that is generally true for Neith. When you drop a weave down, that explosion from Spirit Arrow is going to be nasty. So
the problem is that they're going to be paired up. Ooh, that was close. Against an Awilix, a red pot Awilix and an Isis. This is not something you can fight into. Guaranteed death as long as those 2 players don't mess up. Left-hand side, though, a lot of pressure coming out from Headhunter. Going to poke out Jeron.
We saw this. You and I saw what Zenborne does on this Sobek.
It's not nice.
And it's fun. He played very defensively last game. He played Kepri, like clutch revives every second that he got a chance to. And, you know, here on the side with Sobek, switching it around and just pedal to the metal one more time.
So we'll have to see kind of how this game develops. I really do like Rivals' composition the later the game goes, but also Barrages. Both these teams, I think, pretty heavily focused on the mid and late game. Right-hand side, though, Watson. Gnome getting the better of him and poked out so low already, forced to burn a lot of potions.
Big play coming out from Gnome, just getting superiority in the lane. Now, last game, Barrage very early had a lead and didn't lose it until late in the game. And part of that was, hold that thought, this might be a kill in the left side.
It should be fine. Zenborne, I think the dash is down.
The
pluck was up, down. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought it was still up. But so to what I was saying was Barrage found themselves trailing a lot early in mid. And a big part of that was that Bastet was unable to come on. So you take off the Bastet and you put Kuang in that position. Same situation. If you're not ahead, you're behind. You're like dead last. So need to turn that one around. Here's the rotation coming out from Awilix. Unfortunate timing for Team Rival.
Bye-bye,
they
Zenborne.
get aggressive and it backfires. Lycan shows up in the nick of time to put first blood on the board.
Lycan, a jungler that really likes to roam and make these very early aggressive ganks. We saw this as well. Just in the quarterfinals on his Fenrir, taking a very early trip to the duel lane. These teams need to recognize that because that's what he likes to do, and this is a very unsuspecting gank, right? If both teams disappear into the jungle, right? And that's why I believe what happened. Kuang and Neith actually went to their back camps, and same with Isis Lycan, but instead Lycan actually travels down the left side of the map, surprises them, and there's really nothing you can do in those 3v2 situations, especially if your dash is down like Sobek's was.
And, you know, that's an Andy play. That's an old school Andy play. Andy likes to show up in that duel lane, or used to in Season 2, like to show up in that duel lane around level 3, just because you're not supposed to be there. Go clear your back harps. Go do what you're supposed to do. Breaking the choreography is very important for a jungler, because good pull, but Hydra's going to be okay thanks to good purification.
Lycan able to get a little bit away. Feather Step not activated in time coming out from Lycan. And Lycan also, like you said, very low. You could see that Neith charging the World Weaver. If a ward was down, probably would have been guaranteed to get the kill.
Rival now, a little bit behind. And the blue buff going to be picked up, no problem. So a little bit not as aggressive. I think that the dual lane for Team Rival sort of learned that lesson.
But it's hard, especially when you're already behind. You have to start playing passively or be a little bit more aware. Not a lot of wards on the map right now from either team. Actually, only two wards, coming out.
Yeah, be a little bit more aware, I think. And Rival want to stay aggressive. That's how they won their last game, and that's exactly what they're going to do. All flipped into 2. Headhunter dealing what he can. There's the ultimate for the knockup. Isis not going to be able to help out. The ultimate from Neith.
That was miscommunication. Zenborne could have chased Geb into there. We saw the World Weaver come out to stun him, but unfortunately, no one communicated that that was a possibility, and a dropped kill for Rival. Yeah, Watson, though.
He got the magic cudgel?
He has his heal. He needs to be careful. Gnome has his ult. Gnome can just dive this.
And that's what he's doing, going directly for it. Bluestone not available.
Oh, he let him heal up. actually taking a little bit of poke. He's taking a long time. He's actually allowing Watson to heal up. A awkward play coming out from Gnome. That was definitely a kill if you had timed that better.
Very, very big dropped kill there coming out from Gnome. He'll have a second chance, this time without the ult.
If he finds the stun, it's guaranteed as long as Watson can't get a quick heal.
Both players wind up waving each other. And now Watson, half HP again.
Man, Tier,
You have
so good.
missed your time.
Gold Fury, though, started up, but there's the Ice Stall, all very low, but caught asleep Rival. They're going to lose that one. Nice sneak coming out from Barrage.
Wow. No one there to even tell their friends about it. Barrage now sit in the lead by about 500 gold. Nothing that big, but still worth noting as the Gold Fury has fallen very early. Again, 5 minutes on the Gold Fury. That matches the timing of their one earlier on that I wrote on my cup.
I was about to say the one you wrote on your cup. Hey, man. At least you don't even have that cup anymore.
Nah, I threw it out. I got my notes elsewhere now.
Okay. I didn't know you transferred them as well. Slower paced game coming out. Neither team kind of wants to make a mistake after that first blood. A snuck Gold Fury is going to be found out by Soul. You can see her over there, kind of like, hey guys, Gold Fury's down.
When did it fall? It's 5 minutes.
She actually kind of sat there for 10 seconds. I feel like he was like, Headhunter was like, are you serious? Only a 500 gold lead for Barrage though. A little bit surprising.
Yeah, they got that first blood, excuse me, but the solo lane has been going the way of Sun Wukong.
And you can see, even though Watson has a Gold Fury to his name, still 200 gold behind Gnome.
Exactly.
And Watson is considered to be one of, if not the best player in the European console scene, but Gnome showing that Rival. They have a team that can rival him. Because Rival.
Oh, I didn't know what you were going for there, Kevin. You're so clever.
Trying to look out, man. Set you up.
You're so clever.
I like to think so. Oh, Lycan caught out.
Gonna get stunned out. Fantastic follow-up as Zenborne being focused. There's the Neith ult.
That's
gonna hit. Can they find the damage? Hydra beats preemptively, but doesn't want to go in for the kill.
I believe, was his water illusion down? He definitely could have dashed forward into Lycan and finished him off there. But just off the mark, another dropped kill. Maybe not a dropped kill. That was pretty good from Lycan there. Really quick beats. And now the teams are going to go back to farming for the most part. This Isis Awilix hasn't really been able to make any impact in the early game, actually being pressured out for the most part by Atonement's Neith.
Oh, the Spirit Ball steals one mid-Harpy away. Small impact there. But no, definitely the early game is what Barrage wanted to take advantage of, specifically looking at Elexum and Lycan. And while they did find First Blood onto their jungler, they have yet to really do anything with that.
You know what I am surprised about?
What are you surprised about?
This Kuang hasn't come over to the solo lane once.
Sure.
Gnome has been dominating Watson all early game. There was multiple times that we've seen Watson in kill range, and at the very least in execute range for the Kuang. No wards really being placed on the right side of the map by Barrage, but it seems like Hydra kind of just wants to farm up into the late game, not trying to force anything.
Which, as an Kuang, is understandable. A lot different than the Bastet he played earlier. And I think he sort of learned the lesson where on the Bastet he tried to make a bunch of plays. Did not have successful in time. Neith, backflip pulled. Knockup, not strong enough, but circular protection is. Here comes the jungler. A hair too late. Not able to really impact much of anything. And Quizzle under the tower.
Purification coming out from Neith a little bit too late there. You saw actually pulled that back basically into the team before they were activated. If they're activated immediately, she actually drops from where she's first pulled from. So little mechanical error coming out. And honestly, Zenborne gonna get caught, silenced, stunned out multiple times, and forced to ult there. Even if he found the player he's looking for, needs to recognize that as a Sobek, not too tanky just yet, has the penetration boots online.
Sobek gets out of there thanks to diminishing returns. The silence coming out from Isis, not as powerful. So he's able to find his exit and dash away. I love what Sobek looks like when he dashes. He like gets all low to the ground. He's like, yeah. Yeah.
Let's go to the camera real quick for this one. This is great coming up from Thom's face.
And then his idle animation is also very similar. Sobek is, I think Sobek's one of the coolest gods in the game.
He's a really cool design. I'm a big fan. Has some awesome skins too. The Kaiju skin right there. Pretty sure that's Kaiju skin, right?
Yep. be in the,
2-0 in kills though. Barrage find themselves with a gold lead, although only slight, 600. Considering they not only had first blood but a second kill, as well as the gold fury. Rival actually out farming them across the map. It's really been the objective play that Barrage has been in favor of.
Yeah, and slightly exaggerated, but this is what we saw last time in game number 1. Barrage led the game by 4,000 gold for pretty much the entirety of it, man. They just sat up in front, but Rival was able to, the word I want to use is mitigate. They were losing, but they were losing effectively. Like, they weren't losing everything, just a little bit. Aggression over here in the jungle. Great ultimate by Geb to stop every thought Team Rival had.
Hydra going to be forced to use Purification again, and a lot of relics burned from both squads. I'm a little bit surprised to see we're not having the teams take advantage of that or look to take advantage of that. Definitely a possibility. I mean, Purification, 160-second cooldown. Even if you burn an ult for it, your ult's going to be up before their beads are up. It's awkward for me, but both teams, I think, looking for this late game. Right on the side of Barrage, you have... Okay, he'll be fine. Zenborne will be fine. But on the side of Barrage, you have the Awilix, who could be very potent in the late game if left untouched. Obviously, Tier as well, very strong in the late game at disrupting fights. Geb could keep your team alive, and then you got the hard carry in Xbalanque.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, it was the important one. I got to cap it off with the important one.
Yeah, I mean, the Xbalanque is just, hey, what's up? I'll see you in 30 minutes. But Team Rival want to start fighting now. Ultimate from Soul just finds the hit on the last one.
Poor Geb.
Just in the wrong spot.
Surrounded. And now with this Gold Fury spawning again, Rival don't want to let it go. They're going to actually start it themselves, but
25% on the objective.
They don't have a
Jeron
lot of secure for this.
There's the darts. Rival do successfully take it. And with no follow-up from Barrage, there's no fight. So Team Rival now, lead change, goes the way of
They have
Rival.
a Sobek ult to secure it, but that was a lot harder to... That's actually a very hard ability to time, considering you have to be under the water for the entire duration to have that max damage.
Sure.
If you pop it early, it's going to be doing reduced damage, so it's a little bit risky to try and rely on the Sobek ultimate, but Rival come up with it and now have control of the game.
Stun. Nicely juked out by the Neith.
Probably would have knocked him up. That looked like it could have been to the side.
That was... If Spirit Ball... And you're splitting hairs here, but I don't think that was a Spirit Ball miss. I think it was a juke. If Neith didn't dodge the way she did and got stunned, that was a dead Neith, easy peasy.
Look at this right-hand side. I talked about it earlier. Kuang going to take a trip over here to Watson, but doesn't actually want to kill. He's actually going to steal away the blue buff.
He has the positioning so
what
very
is
well.
Zenborne doing?
Unlike Zenborne. Supports.
He was 1 versus 3.
Got
that
surrounded.
Was very awkward. I watched him come out from the bottom side of the Heartbeats and just walk up the mid lane.
He had empathy for Awe. He said,
Fair
look,
enough.
we surrounded you. My turn. And now...
Nice stun.
It's Lycan's turn. Surrounded is the Awilix. Smack goes the stick. And the Soul Eater picks that one up. Elexum answers very quickly and takes out Hydra.
Really nice combination from Gnome there. Immediately finding the Tiger form stun to knock Awilix out of Suku. And then after that, then he thought to finish it off, although Kuang a little bit too close. You can see he actually went for the execute, but I think just a hair too early.
Sure. Yeah, just a miscalculation on Hydra. So he'll find his first death of the game, bringing his Doom Orb stacks down to 1. Does it round up or round down?
That's 3.
Yes, so half of 3. Oh, has it already been cut in half?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. He has 3, though.
Because
not 1.
So on the player, on the like the game, right? Your stacks get cut in half once you spawn.
Yeah, so he had 6. Oh, wait, now he has 5, now he has 6. Oh, he's killing camps. I don't know, man.
Solo lane. Tier dashes forward. Might be problems. It just shows that he's totally content with being level 15 against a level 11 Kuang.
Yeah, this Kuang not farming too well.
Yeah. Which was the problem Hydra ran into last game, honestly, as well. Quickly found himself behind on the Bastet. And what I said then, Kevin, was when a Bastet is behind, unlike other characters, she doesn't bring anything to the table. She's just damage. Kuang, I guess, always has that ultimate, but has to get there for it.
You can always execute. Even if you build, like, a pure tank, like, honestly,
like a Thanatos
you could
does?
just, like, yeah, you can just get in there. Although it's much, even as mage, it's much harder. Watson blinks over the wall, but way off the mark. Hydra just going to water illusion out of there.
The sprint's popped. Team Rival getting aggressive. Soul shows up out of nowhere. Root onto the mid lane. There's the pluck. Not finding it, but the damage is good enough. Zenborne takes out Elexum. Now he's under the water, right underneath everybody, but Lycan puts the croc in the ground, and now everybody's looking at Jeron quickly dashing underneath the tower. 4 members does Barrage have underneath their tier 1. Rival, the same amount of players here in the mid lane. Do they take the advancement? Looks like they will. Minions pour in. Tower gets aggressed on.
There's Curse onto Gnome, and he's going to find a stun on Jeron. And it's going to be Execute coming from Hydra to pick up all there. And it will be a tier 1 tower as well. Rival looking real good to close this game out.
Watson
Not yet, but they're looking really strong.
Watson.
Nice pick.
A little bit of a misplay there from Watson. Decides to get aggressive into 4. I don't think he had the. I don't think that was the right call necessarily. And Rival even up the kills, and they look to separate themselves from their opponent by way of gold as well. Full-on retreat here. 1 member caught. That's a dead Hydra. See you later.
That's fine. That's fine. They got like 3 kills, a tier 1 tower, a tier 2 tower. Rival now 2,200 gold in the lead. Looking very strong. We could see the first new champion in the European and actually both console qualifiers, as I believe it was Eager who took the first 2 weeks over in North America. Barrage took the first 2 weeks over in Europe. But Rival doing their best to take that away from. They won the first game, looking real strong in number 2.
I love the adaptation that Rival brings, and I think that's what separates the top-end teams from the topper-end teams. Or the
topper-end teams?
Or whatever. You know, I'm thinking about food. I'm thinking of a cake topper, you know what I'm talking about?
I actually thought about that, too. I was like, topper, like a cake topper?
Of course you thought about cake.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that you like cake.
Trying to say something else, huh?
No.
Trying to insinuate something, Thom?
No. I'm trying to
Thomas
say you like
Badinger?
cake.
Sure.
Kevin Meier.
I
Kevin
said
Meerkat, soloed by Meerkat.
You're trying way too hard for that one.
I'm like reaching for the sky. I got nothing, man. You smoked me that time. Right now, Team Rival smoking the left-hand lane. Headhunter taking it all by himself. Might be a problem here, but in from nowhere comes Zenborne. What can the Sobek do? He can give a knock-up, and he can slow, and he can turn things around. Headhunter unleashes the ult. Here comes Gnome. Aw's in trouble. Elexum gonna avoid the execute and turn it around. Hydra can't find the kill, gets killed himself.
2-man stun coming up from the Spirit Ball. Gnome diving deep though. He tries to stun, but actually went into the wrong form, I believe. And he's getting turned under tower. It's gonna be Jeron to find that kill. Barrage. They're fighting back, and here comes Watson.
Couple of mistakes by Team Rival gives Barrage the opportunity to smack Headhunter into the ground. Lycan forced to retreat. Zenborne and Atonement trying to find a way out. Backflip is strong. No Awilix ult to punish that. And that should be
3 for 1, though, in favor of Barrage. Big plays coming out from Elexum, most notably finding a couple max-range Spirit Balls. First onto Headhunter at the start of that fight, so he couldn't really fight back into it.
Sure.
After that, finding a 3-man stun onto the side. Gold Fury was started up here. Looks like it'll be dropped, though.
Yeah, Neith is there.
And then Elexum, honestly, turning it around onto the Kuang. Got the execute off, but the Sanctuary was good in time. And then the ult dropped, and bye-bye, Kuang.
Keep in mind, folks, Atonement was is the mid laner for Team Rival. So making the, I don't know if you call this a full lane swap, but just giving Neith the farm over there on the left-hand side as it's left unattended. Also going to pick up Boars.
He's like, sorry, Soul, this is all my farm. He's just greedy. Don't even lie. He's like, give me all this farm. Man, you got boars to kill solo. You got a lane to kill solo. I got like 8 people in my lane all the time. That's how mid is, right? It's like everyone's in my lane. Everyone's trying to kill me
all the time,
or steal my farm, or steal my buffs. It's like this solo farm. It's so nice over here in the duo.
Spirit Ball not going to find a target. Soul will be safe, as will Kuang. 4 members from Barrage starting up the Gold Fury as Watson plays Gatekeeper. Just looking at Hydra's enough to make him turn tail, but he forces it with the Fearless. There's an ultimate out of Barrage looking for the kills as they leash on the Gold Fury. Lycan takes out Zenborne.
Zenborne's positioning continues to be a problem for Rival. Picked off for the 4th time this match. Watson just kind of chasing out these carries over on the left-hand side. He's going to Lawbringer over the top looking for Hydra, and he is going to close the gap, but a nice use of Purifications just in time.
Root coming out from the Neith, so a strong crowd control there coming out from Team Rival. Barrage could push down the left tower, opt not to, and instead find themselves falling back, likely going to reassess their look at the Gold Fury.
You could see, though, Soul Coming back into lane fresh, and they are going to start it. They do have the Ice Assault for secure. Gnome going to be stunned out. Watson, like you said, Gatekeeper going to keep him at bay for now. But Gnome looking for the knockup is going to find it on a couple players.
Slow and strong as well, and the ultimate just barely gets in there. Ice ult down.
Should secure this.
Gold Fury not killed. Barrage takes Gold Fury as predicted. Gnome, however, gets one. Hydra gets another. Looking to stay aggressive most likely, and he is. Comes and finds no one with his dragon. So the slow, ineffective, but Team Rival hit the sprint. They're looking for more.
Gnome still in this fight somehow, but he's really poked out. Gets the curse over the wall, but the rest of the team is not trying to follow up in any manner. Barrage, they got the Gold Fury. They lose a couple players. At the very least, though, the game's still even Rival with a very slight lead. Here comes the teleport from Watson, though. They do need to be careful. Oh, Headhunter. Oh, Headhunter.
Purification going to save the life of the Headhunter. And red buff will be picked up by Neith.
5-man grouping from Rival low. No tier 1 towers for them to take in the mid or left. And based on their positioning, not going to be able to get over to the right-hand side in time. It looks like they're just going to reset across the map. Actually, no, they're going to actually try and steal this blue, but Hydra's alone. And yeah, he notices the team coming in behind him.
Oh, but he's going to stay.
It's cheeky little Kuang.
Thought about it, decided not to. Good thing these fire elementals are here.
Not
being facetious, he actually can get Doom Orb stacks.
Yeah. He's only got 25s to his name right now. Has Polynomicon finished as well, so he's swinging. We actually saw, I believe it was Variety versus Cringe Crew, Shaggy Shank yesterday. We've seen what an Kuang can do late game. He can turn on you and auto attack, or excuse me, Wild Storm and then auto attack and then execute you. Like that's just how much damage late game Kuangs do.
There's some fun combos that you can play with Kuang. We've seen, I think it was Skeleton that I saw first do it. I'm sure it originated everywhere.
I know what it is.
But you deal it. Oh, well, dude, don't need a combo there. Hydra just takes the entire kit of ISIS.
Start off by not being dead.
Yeah, start off by not getting ISIS. Ouch. Yeah, Skeely, he goes in and hits him with the 1-2 combo, right? The Wildstorm and the basic. Then he executes without the execute range, tosses him up in the air, and blinks away with the transform, and it kills him with that one.
Water Illusion does do a lot of damage, but Gnome, he's plucked out of position, will get his ult off in time. Zenborne continuing to frontline with his ultimate, but he was low. He's going to have to reset. Gnome will heal up as well. And now, 5-member strong. I mean, Barrage, they can just honestly walk through this, especially with Zenborne being forced to back here.
Yeah, this is the one that counts.
Oh, no.
Beautiful, fearless, and Jeron brought someplace as he takes Atonement down for the count. Tier 1 tower going to go the way of Barrage as well. Stellar Burst thrown out there, but
sieging this other one as well. Watson, he's going to blink forward, doing so much. Nice knockup from Gnome. Going to allow the Neith, the Soul to stay alive for just a second. Hydra, though, he needs to get someone in the execute range. There it is. Bye-bye. Oh.
Keep going. Rival hits the gas. Bird form. Sprint. Everybody gone. Jeron in some trouble. Here's Hydra. This is his moment. He picks up 2. He picks up 3. Sobek picked up 1, could have been a quadra. Either way, that's what Hydra needs to do for this squad. He just did it. Fire Giant is where Barrage is heading to now. Watson is around.
Watson smelling something out, but Rival, they haven't started it yet. Gnome actually back to base. Elexum, or excuse me, Atonement just spawning an Owl. Rival, they're going to spot out Watson. But Watson, honestly, even if he dies here, at the very least, he's wasting a lot of time. There's Neith ult, but the rest of the team wasn't even chasing him.
Team Rival not even looking towards the objective or the larger objective, going for the smaller one in the solo lane pick. Tier 1. Yeah, it's the safe play. I think there's a little name power in this game plan, Kevin. If it's you hear tier is up, you probably start the Fire Giant, even though tier is able to take that.
The thing for me is that they're not super late into the game. 23 minutes is a time you can definitely take Fire Giant uncontested. Right. But the problem was Gnome had to back. Neith also just coming off death, and it wasn't worth the risk.
Well, this is a little bit of a risk. Barrage still doing it.
Gnome is still tanking this? Okay, he got it.
Gnome's tanking it.
Needs to be careful.
Takes the tower. Ults up. He's got to jump quickly, otherwise Barrage will be able to follow him. Team Rival get out of there.
And
no business getting out of there.
Barely out of range of that silence, you can see. Funny enough, we didn't mention it, but that blue buff that was stolen a while ago actually did not get finished. So there's still a mini camp left up on Barrage's blue. So it's not going to be spawning, meaning they're not going to be able to pick that up anytime soon. Fire Giant being circled around by all 10 members of this game, though.
I love that play. A lot of times you'll see players finish the camp just for the extra XP. But I like the little grief card. I like the grief play. There's Barrage aggressing onto the Fire Giant by themselves. Brought it down to about 50% HP, and Team Rivals here. Hydra takes Barrage all to the sky.
Neith ult going to be used in the backline, and Hydra finds another double kill in this match. 24 minutes in. Kuang 7, 4, and 6.
14-12 on top of the scoreboard.
Oh,
4K in the lead for Hydra, and he's going to use it. He's going to get stunned. Isis looking for the turnaround. Here comes the Hunter as well. Zenborne saves the day, but not long enough. Elexum takes out the jungler.
Fire Giant was not completed, actually reset. Gnome is able to take out the Isis, but now it's going to be Watson here. Jeron underneath, and actually is going to come to the team. No, he's going to elect to back. Watson should fall here. He's going to be rooted out, flung in a circle once again, and now the team can head over to Fire Giant. This is going to be almost uncontested. Only Awe and Jeron up.
Team Squirrel. Team easily distracted.
Would you say that?
Team Squirrel.
Okay.
Easily distracted. They've been distracted from these objectives so often. Now, not necessarily a negative statement. They've been getting the kills and the fights off of it. But finally, we get to see Team Rival finish up the Fire Giant. They've been trying for it for what seems like 7 minutes almost.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Let's take a look at Golden Hand. You can see a couple members here at about 1,000. No one with a lot in their name. Kuang just finished Soul Reaver.
Ouch.
We have, it looks like a Spirit's Robe, going to be started up by Gnome. Neith is working on her chin size. Midgardian Mail finished by Sobek. And it looks like, I believe that was a, I can't even think, Demonic Grip coming in, or excuse me, Telekine's Ring coming in from the Soul.
Telekine's Ring is an interesting item. Now, the thing with Telekine's Ring is that it brings a small passive proc, right? Very small amount of damage, which doesn't scale, which makes it an odd late game choice. But it does provide a whopping 30% attack speed. But actually taking a closer look there, Kevin.
I was right the first time. It was Demonic Grip.
Yeah,
They're like the
Grip.
same thing, man.
Demo Grip gives 25% instead of 30.
They're like the same thing. There's like a slight color change. I can't see. I blame my monitor.
All right.
And
That's fair.
My eyesight. I have terrible eyesight. I'm blind. No glasses, I can't see a thing.
Really?
It's real bad.
You know,
I can see, but it's like 10 feet away. It's just blurred.
No,
it's like colors.
I tried on Bart's glasses for the first time a long time ago, and like, I think I need glasses.
Yeah, probably.
We both do, because we missed the
look
gold
awkward
spree
with
that was
glasses,
just taken out. 8,100 gold in the lead for Team Rival after that objective.
I mean, this is Rival's game, right? They're up 1-0. This is their set to win.
Yep.
They're looking real strong to find the third week of European console qualifiers here. They're going to be traveling up the mid lane. No towers left to take. 27 minutes in.
Phoenix looked at. Headhunter doesn't want to lead the charge, but certainly wants to lead the damage. Coming out, there's the blink forward. Watson finds Atonement, quickly purified out. There's the Soul Ultimate, gonna knock one in the air, and the hit at a Sobek, gonna knock two in the air. Still no kills on the board just yet.
Jeron doing a lot right now with this Oboe. He'll be forced out, but 0 kills. It's going to be Watson to the back line. He is surrounded, but he is going to get Headhunter, and Headhunter will fall the first casualty of this fight. Left-hand side, Jeron stays alive with the help of a Geb Shield, and Team Rival, they're going to be forced off Barrage hold.
Purified saves Purification saves the life of Headhunter once. Watson takes note.
Yeah, Purified quit.
Goes for number 2.
He quit console. Him and Dust. They were a part of the first week of qualifiers, but he's not in this game.
I wish you guys could see the face I'm giving Kevin right now. Just the fail fish without the actual hand on head. There you go.
Ow, I hurt myself. I just hit myself in the face.
Team Rival make the huge swing around, but Barrage, Barrage able to really hold their ground. Now, this was the story for Rival in Game 1 as well. Turnaround, late game comeback. Barrage wasn't able to really hold, though. This time around, a little bit different.
For me, though, is Rival missing everything. There was so many missed abilities. Soul Ultimate was used. Not a single tick hits anyone. The team commits very heavily onto Awe, but he manages to kind of walk out. So there's a lot of wasted abilities and a lot of missed abilities. The combination was out there that I think the team almost felt themselves a little bit too much trying to close it out.
What's also interesting, and I mean, I'm not saying that this deserves a strategy reassessment or that the mid Phoenix was incorrect, But going to mid Phoenix, your team has to be much more closer together than if you try for the outside Phoenixes because of the way that corridor is positioned.
Yeah.
And with Xbalanque's oboe, ouch. You got to spread out, but you're incapable of spreading out when you aggress on that mid Phoenix.
I want to take a note now, right? If Rival managed to finish it, it probably won't matter. But in the next couple fights, right now, Xbalanque is at 17,000 damage, 3,000 off of the Neith top end, although the Xbalanque was entirely farming, whereas you can see the two mid laners at the top, there's a lot of engagement. So I want to see where Xbalanque ends if this game is not finished within 5 to 10 minutes, because that could be the reason that Barrage come back.
That oboe is so powerful, and Xbalanque, a character that benefits very, very well from late game attack speed. Big ultimate coming out. Hydra in some trouble. Elexum turns him to liquid. Hydra's gone.
Oh, and now the rest of Rival, they're surging forward. Barrage, they're trying to fall back here. A big quick flip, and Headhunter, he's knocked up in circles. That's going to be 2 dead on the side of Rival. No, excuse me, 3 already picked off. Everyone full health on Barrage. Excuse me?
Game?
No, not even close.
I think it's close.
30 seconds, they're going to have to take this tower, and then a Phoenix, and then the Titan.
They'll get a Phoenix. They won't get the Titan.
Yeah, they should be able to take this Phoenix. It's only game if Sobek and Guan Yu trying to defend this and die, right? Honestly, they could just disrupt and then reset.
Nice assault down.
At the very least, yeah, it's just really not worth defending, and that's exact. Barrage, they're going to be able to take this Phoenix without losing a single casualty, but Hydra, really poor positioning in that last engagement. Started off way out of position, trying to 100 to 0 someone. Unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's the problem when it comes to Kuang, is that you think you're all sneaky and invisible, and then all of a sudden you become visible again, and you're just surrounded by the opponent.
I mean, he had Blink online, where I don't know if he had Blink online, but it's online now, which means he was going in there, whether it was on cooldown or whether it was off cooldown at the time, just walking in. And then forced to use Water Illusion when he's in an awkward spot and actually teleports into that blue buff corridor instead of trying to escape. At the very least, I think he had to. It was kind of a reaction because he took so much poke. Hydra definitely needs to play this these team fights a little bit safer. I would like to see him wait. A lot of times he's one of the first ins. I think if he waits like 10 to 15 seconds and tries to find someone isolated over in the corner, especially after Geb Shield is out, that's when he needs to go, right? The second the Geb Shield is down, he can go in and full commit. But that's the problem right now. Geb Shield's so effective, as well as all these relics.
Watson blinks in, doesn't find the target, but finds a different one with the Fearless. 2 stuns out thanks to a Cataclysm from Geb. Sobek pluck, not going to do much of anything. Soul ult does hit this time around, and in some trouble. Finds his way out with the rollout. Hydra does pick up Watson on the backside, though, so things looking clean for Rival. There's a Smack Sanctuary going to immune some of the damage coming out onto the Awilix, and the pluck not going to find a home.
Sprint was popped, however, and Zenborne continuing, in my opinion, to struggle on the Sobek. We saw a phenomenal performance from him when he was able to get a lot of early kills in the semifinals against Cleanup Crew. But coming into this matchup, a lot of missed plucks as well as some poor positional options. Isis is going to be able to actually get in here. Hydra looking to zone him this time, and he's going to find it. Fire Giant not reset, and this is going to be Rival picking this up.
Fire Giant goes the way of the blue squad. They lead the game by about 5,000 gold. 5,300 to be a little bit more precise. 1 kill in their situation as well.
A lot of these players now finishing off their builds. You can see Gnome has finished a Wing Blade and Spirit Robe for his last items. Kuang, not full on Doom Orb stacks, but does have the Rod of Tahuti. Neith as well. Actually working on some physical defense. It looks like that's going to be a Breastplate of Valor. If not, it could be a Hydra than a Nemean Lion.
Nemean would be interesting. I'm honestly not a big fan of Nemean Lion unless there's an overwhelming, like, 4 physical, for example. The passive is nice, but, I mean, it's just, the passive isn't as useful as some of the other items. So
this is a kind of an awkward build coming out from the Neith, right? She's kind of going 3 different ways. She's going cooldown, max cooldown, but she's not going into, like, she's built a defensive item, right? Then she has the chins, but she doesn't have a lot of attack speed to back up the chins. She's only got the Aussie. And then she has a power base. But
so I don't like the Aussie, honestly, which is odd because she's got a Jotun's Wrath. But if you've ever heard me talk about ability-based hunters, you know that I absolutely love Jotuns on them, especially if you're going to stick her in mid. I like the Jotun's pick. I think the Aussie is really what separates it from a build with a thought process, because you build a power base of trans, you have your power boots, right? And then you go into Jotuns for some cooldown. You can buy just chins as your like main. Okay, look, I don't have any attack speed, but at some point my abilities are going to be on cooldown. Chins, chins, chins. Hooray for me. This build should be focused on penetration and raw power, and we see that, but the Aussie seems very out of place to me.
But Rival, they do have Fire Giant around their waist, and the Neith will be a little bit more tanky against the Awilix tier and Xbalanque. The team's going to be sieging up. Once again, they're going to be trying for this middle lane, but it's a little bit different this time because they're actually matching up against fired minions themselves, as Barrage was able to take that middle Phoenix in that last fight. Regular
minions coming in, backdoor. Protections are gone. There comes the stun. Not going to find a home on the Isis. Instead, we'll find Xbalanque knocked up. No Wheelish ult. Gnome down to half HP.
Lycan, smart decision there, I think. Not wanting to waste it on that warrior. Looking more for a primary target. Wants that Neith or the soul. Most notably, Kuang as well would be strong. And now, now I like what Rival is doing. They're starting to split up the other waves, forcing Barrage to pick a side to defend. Neith ult is charging, but Kuang's not in position to follow up on this. And Gnome just going to front line.
Atonement just waiting for her opportunity. Just sitting there, waiting. The second somebody steps out of position, they're getting stunned and they're getting smoked. Watson blinks out of position on the other hand, puts somebody underneath the tower. Zenborne taking down a half HP almost immediately. Gnome up in the cloud, looking for aggression. They land on a tank, it's Geb, but here comes Watson, triple fearless, and that's a dead croc.
We're going to see the rest of Rival start to fall. Elexum coming up with the double, and now it's Atonement surrounded by 5. A double kill coming up for Jeron. And honestly, every single player died at the same time. There's not a single member of Rival spawning for 50 to 60 seconds. This is a win.
I ask you again for the second time.
The first time, no. The first time, no. This time, all 5 members wiped at the same time. No tower to stop them. A weakened Phoenix that's not even at full life. This is going to be Barrage coming up with a fantastic turnaround off of Watson's 3-man fearless. And we're going to a game 3.
Stephen Malcolmus once said, wowie zowie. Complete turnaround. What looked like Rival's game to be had. Last fight on the Phoenix. Barrage able to take it out from underneath them, move on to game 3. The best of 3. Each team has found a win. Barrage end
with the win.
Yes.
Rival controlling that game front to back, but one mistaken fight at the Fire Giant is going to end it for them. I'm really surprised that we didn't see them find a single return kill. That was just a little bit sloppy.
It was just instant offense from Barrage, and that's what we've seen out of specifically Watson. He's able to just blink forward, hit the fearlesses, and do what he can. But up until that point, the story was really about Lycan struggling early, as now Kuang kind of is expected to.
Yeah, look at this Kuang. Look at this Kuang. It's okay, Thom. Lycan, though, on this Awilix, really controlling the pace of their early game for, I believe, the second or third time in a row. Takes a very early trip over to this duo lane.
And has really succeeded, off of how he's able to surprise his opponents with the timing.
So now we're going to be heading into the third game here, just shortly.
Nice.
Both times, two different teams controlled the game for essentially front to back, and then some egregious mistakes in the end flop it over. So, deal it.